aka my iPhone. No, like if I don't take it off, I literally just open up an app and then it remembers the device, and then just open up on my computer, open up the software, and just connect it right to it. Yeah, and it's right over Wi-Fi too, so it's like I haven't had anything with it yet. Could honestly, I'll say that on stream. Well, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Yeah, I start coughing too. It's good old stream days. Welcome back, everyone. We got another stream for y'all. Today, we are gonna cover what we did in the market. Just kind of see how our levels played out that we outlined during the morning stream. We're gonna cover some stonks that we have gone over. We're gonna cover what we see happening on this little longer time frame, and then we will dive into our tools for ICT trading. We covered it this morning, or we talked about it this morning. So today we're going to talk about it. Those tools for ICT, we're going to just talk about those like time frames, 1 minute to daily, Fibonacci, just kind of trying to do no indicators, or the indicators that we do use that kind of help us do the whole ICT thing. Setting up trading view. I'll talk about some of those little hotkeys that we've covered previously, and just minimalism of tools and focusing on price. So let's dive right into that. Let's see what we did on the day. I'm trying to pull up the stream. If you guys have any questions at any point, be sure to ask them. You can ask them on YouTube, whatever you're watching on. We'll be able to see them here over our chat. Just let us know. We got Hazed in the house, Timmy in the house. What up, what up, what up? Timmy says sup. All right, so let's go on our higher time frame. Right, overnight we had a little bit of a run up, and then this morning we outlined these levels. Right, we had this liquidity, that blunt bottom that we swept. We had previous day low, and what do we say? We said previous day low is going to be good support. Right, we want to see it come down, and we want to see it bounce, or we want to see it hold in order for us to bounce it, or displace through it to continue lower. So this still is going to remain the level for tomorrow. I think this low, these two engineered liquidities are going to be solid for us to take tomorrow if we do decide to come down. We can put in another high over here, come up and come down and do a little outside day, right? Monday, I'm not sure what it's showing me low of day is. Monday, it should be Tuesday, it should be this low. Right here. All right, so align that. So I came down, we held the Timmy over here. I believe it was on 30 minute. Look at that. Initial bounce out of this Timmy zone. Retraced into the OTE of this range. Right, 786 rejection. Right there. That's your 10 a.m. to 10:30. Rejected that. We had an outside hour here. We took shorts over here as well. Took shorts to the bottom, took longs to the top to clear out the London highs after taking out London lows. Took that. Basically, if you guys were not in Discord, there was a lot of movement today. Everybody was calling shots, tops, bottoms. We got it all. So, right, rejection of this OTE range. That was solid. Then we came down into this whole range. If we took this range, and we bounced on the 786 as well over here and continued back up. Kind of what we were talking about, externals to internals to externals, right? We had our bearish or bullish setups hold, so we continued on up. You can see this fair value gap held, this inverse held, our lows held over here on the 30 minute, but hourly gave you a way better perspective on it just because we had a wick through it, no body close below it, continue up. This 30 minute Timmy held, so we can extend it, see if we continue it. Over here, we still have one more liquidity, so that's why I'm saying we can go up, retest previous day high, take this liquidity, reject over here. You could maybe even come up, retest the previous weekly high, and then come back down. Let's see if we did an outline today. Yeah, look at that. right to the level. All right, this morning we had an outline of what the price might do. Came up, rejected, came down right to this level, bounced out of it into OTF this range, continued down a little bit, and then came right back out.
That's
That,
a kiss.
that was beautiful. You guys can go review the stream. Honestly, I'm going to save this picture so that we can post it with a little clip of the thing that we did.
Beautiful call. It's crazy. Bill didn't even move at all today.
Yeah.
Lots of movement, but still in the same exact spot.
Mm-hmm. Cool, that's uploaded, so I have that. Yeah, you can see that we're still kind of consolidating. That's why, for me, at least personally, I'd want to see one more move down before we do a reversal, right? Because we don't reverse from consolidations. Similar thing that we did this week or the previous week, right? We had Thursday, right? We were consolidating. Look at this. This range is pretty much the same thing, right? Highs, lows. It's your 2,000 point range. We got 1,000 point range, almost 2,000 actually too. So we're still consolidating, right? So we can still go a little bit lower because we haven't manipulated below on a higher time frame. On a higher time frame, we have no setup in terms of reversals, right? So for me, we are still a little bit bearish for this week, even 4 hour, right? You can see that consolidation, similar consolidation that we had over here, broke this trend line. I'm sure we can slap a trend line over here as well, right? We'll probably come back, retest it, break below it, continue down. If you want to do it that way. Like that. Let's make that blue. It's a similar thing that we're doing over here. Building a little quote unquote flag, right? Flagging over here, flagging over here. Very similar. You guys see that? You guys got any comments on that? Questions, comments, concerns? You guys, yeah, you can see my screen. Okay, so we have that, right? This is our little OTE. Let's dive a little bit deeper into, let's see, daily VG for tomorrow. We can possibly look for these, right? 786. But like we said, these are kind of our liquidity. So we're looking for those previous day high, previous day lows as our targets. Considering tomorrow is CPI 6:30 a.m. or 8:30 for those on Eastern time. We can put in wick. We can grind up overnight. Take this, maybe go a little higher, depends, and then come back down. This is what we might be looking for tomorrow, and then whatever we want to do the next day, retest that trend line, come back down a little lower. All right.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Don't take this with a grain of salt, right? Markets can move in whatever the way they choose to. We're just kind of given if then, right? We have a lot of if thens. If they take this and don't hold it, then we can look for downside. And then we're looking at this level over here, right? Important. We see no body close below it. This was kind of like a small little manipulation below it over here. So we're looking at that 219, 27, 225. If this breaks, then we can start looking for lower prices, right?
Hey Eddie, can I add something real quick?
What up?
Just something I noticed, so I play reversals. So on your what time? On your 1 hour, bottom left over there, you see the 3/4 engulfing candle.
This one?
Nope. We had the big green one to your right. We're flagging on it right now.
Oh yeah, this one. Yep.
Yeah. So if we break back above the top of that red candle, we will go.
Okay.
Almost every time. That's like a play that we do at open a lot. And once we get over that, it's gone.
Yeah, considering how flat this level is, we didn't see any body close. Yeah. So right, that's another if then, right? If we break above this and hold above this level right here,
Above that high.
Yep. Yeah, this lines up pretty much well, but yeah, above these highs, if we break above it, it's that previous day high. break above it, and hold, then we are looking for our next liquidity, right? Our next rejection point. It's just going to be that 76550, 19,76550. That's that previous weekly low, and the top of this over here. So we want to look at those levels, see how we react. If we break this and hold above it, then we can start looking for this gap fill, right? All of these lows, retest of this trend line. For me, I'm looking at this trend line, seeing what price does tomorrow. Let's look at this over here, because that's more of a continuous chart. Right. You can see we actually stayed inside these two lines. That's at my average daily range indicator. So we stayed within them, right? We didn't really break above below, so we didn't see a huge crash. That's what I've been noticing, is if we break this, breaks your daily average, you see a huge flush, right? Or break above it, you also see a huge little move. Right, but for right now, right, you can see broke that, huge sell. Broke above that, big pump. It's just kind of been monitoring that, your average daily range. I've been looking at that a lot recently. So daily, right over here, these are the lows that we'll likely target if we cannot break and hold below 19,299.25. 19,299.25. That's kind of similar to this 19,150.50 that we have. Very, very, very close low. All right. I'm not sure why my indicator is lagging out on this. Monday, this should be Tuesday. This should be the low over here. And then we came back, retested same zone that we bounced out of yesterday. Pretty sure that was a 5-minute Timmy over here. Yep, look at that. Strong and mighty Timmy. Bounced out of it yesterday. Or today. All right, bounced out of it overnight. Came up over here. Took those top liquidities, came back down to it. This held, so this zone is still very, very much active. All right, we want to monitor that one too. Right now, so on our higher time frame, on our 15-minute, what do we have over here? We had these liquidities right here, kind of had a little trend going. We came up, retested this inverse fair value gap right there, right, and a fair value gap over here too. So we came up, retested this. We didn't have a body close below it. You can see there's our 786 over here. Came up, rejected it almost to a T right here, right? Combined with this little zone, rejected that, sold back down, right? That's after the initial sell. Came into OTE of this zone, came back down. Pretty sure Shane caught this whole fucking move. 1,000 little tickles. He got tickled good today. So, right, so this was our outline on the 5-minute. Now we drop down. We see we swept this liquidity right here, began to sell, right? It's all about something that we covered yesterday, right? We had a little wick above it, no body close, no displacement through it. So, okay, cool. We continue to sell below it. Continue. This is our 15-minute fair value gap right here. Continue down. Take London lows. We also send some wicks below that. All right, there's your 934. Oh, this is a 1-minute. Sure, let me go back. I was wondering, I'm like, damn, why is there so much price data? Okay, 5-minute, right? I mean, still sent a wick above it, didn't close a body, came back down on the 5-minute here, 930, swept this, retested it with this candle at 935, started to go back up. Pretty sure I took a little long here on the 1-minute, right? Because price was holding this level. We were kind of starting to reject or come back up. I took this little trade. That was good enough for me. And then we took some shorts over here on this inverse, right? We broke below it, kind of started to slide down, waited for a retest of it, almost took this top as well, and then came right back down. right? We took London highs, then took another high. This was during the macro. This was during our Timmy time as well. Look at that, right? There's your top during the Timmy time. Phenomenal. Beautiful indicator. Guys, if you want it, papertraders.io or follow Timmy if you guys want to learn the ways of the market. And then we came back down, retested all the targets that we had, right? We took this, continued down, took that, started to bounce, retested this level over here, which was the liquidity from way back when. Still kind of watching this one, so we can put a little dash line on here as those levels are still acting as that. So we're here, right? Retrace, we talked about that. Believe this was another 15-minute inverse. Yeah, so this was another 15-minute inverse. We came up at 10:15, retested it, sold back down further to the liquidities that we had outlined, right? That was this liquidity right here. This gave us a little outside hour. Same thing over here, right? That hourly opened, swept this liquidity right there. Let me get rid of my indicators just so you guys can see a little better. Swept that liquidity right here. We did not displace above it. This was our news candle. Took it, retraced right back down. That 5-minute candle was fucking huge. 1,000-point candle. Insane. So, right, that was all of the things that we had here on this day. Let's do this. Let's put them
I give
into.
a little bit of a little something for the viewers. I don't know about NQ, but ES, if you fib that data candle, we was right at the top of that golden pocket.
Were we this rejected?
Yeah, and to your right where it rejected.
Yep. Yeah. 786 or 618 705. It's that
Right there in
OT
your
we're
OT.
talking about. Yep. Rejected that.
And then if you look when we sold all the way off, right at 130.
So this was 130, the bottom.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Got Timmy time, Timmy candle. All lined up. Beautiful.
Yep. Look at that. Right? Your Timmy time bottom. Retested the Timmy zone. Came right back up. On the 5-minute, these were our longs right here. Right? What did we do? Came down. Tested the 5-minute OTE. Over here, 786. Boom. Get your nice setup. And then continued down. All right, so that was the day. That was what we had on Tuesday. Let me see. Yeah, that range. I want to save the 5-minute candle. Put that in here. Right after we swept liquidity, key levels. So we were just retesting that little consolidation, right? This consolidation. See how we chopped around over here on our key levels. For those, if you guys want to learn more, see Hazed Beats on Twitter. Join the Discord. We got a PDF that outlines everything on those key levels made by the man himself, Mr. Hazed. So make sure you check it out. I would if I were you.
I would if I was me.
Yeah.
I would too.
Again, if you guys are just now joining, you'll be able to check these out under the live section on our YouTube. All of our socials are pinned on my Twitter at the top of the page. We got everything. We got Twitter for paper traders. We got the YouTube for paper traders. Got TikTok for it. We got Twitch for it. You name it. If you're using it, we'll probably have it. If your mom uses it, might not have it. We're working on Facebook. Or Meta, whatever you guys want to fucking call it nowadays. Yeah. Make sure you check out Big Timmy Hedge on Twitter. Make sure you check out Hazed Beats. If you guys are enjoying this, give it a like, give it a little share button. Appreciate that a lot. Now let's take a look ski at maybe some stocks that we had. So maybe this right, like on the 4 hour, like we said. Oh, 4 hour, hold up. 4 hour looks gross too, yeah. Like we said, we can come do this if we take this high. Maybe something like that. All right, we'll keep that in our outlines, in our notes. That'll give us a little run up overnight. Take that liquidity, and then if anything, we're retesting these lows, these previous week lows, these levels that are important. So let's take a look at some stocks that we had outlined on Sunday. See how they're doing, see what's going on. DG, solid retrace right now, as we were expecting. Probably we can adjust this little OTE right here. See if we come down. So 0.5, maybe C78 or 618, and then go up from there. All right. Stonks, kitty cat, nice little bounce. Looking at 705 to hold, continue up. Look at this. Look at what we outlined. Take note, 705 right into OTE over here. So now we want to see if it will run up, right, on CCL. Another retest of OTE here on D-Dog. Love, bouncing right out of that OTE as outlined. Swept this liquidity. Beautiful. See Rivian, kind of iffy below that 786. Snowflake, kind of covered it. It was iffy as well. Yes, look at that little bounce up, come down, retesting that OTE again. So we want to make sure that holds for us. This one, AMD, we said fuck AMD, going to $70. Bank of America.
No
Bank of America, we want to see this animal complete at 705, maybe a little bit lower, like $38, around $38 to $39 area would be solid for a long. None of this is financial advice either. Just a heads up. We're just looking at stocks. CVX, that retesting this trend line. So want to see if we do get a bounce, maybe if we fill this volume imbalance. DraftKings, kind of nothing. FedEx continuing down. Had a nice little retest, right? If we move this, we kind of had that move. Retested the trend line over here, continue down. Autodesk, I'd want to see a bounce somewhere around here. This animal can be adjusted a little bit. So we'd want to see this OTE hold and then that move happen. On and then Ulta, Apple, continuing down. This fucking played out beautifully. That animal up and then down upon completion because we had a Timmy zone over here. Check back down.
Got that blunt opening too. That was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Fucking phenomenal, mate. Tesla.
QP AVGO for me too.
Tesla. Fucking sell this bitch.
Trump just bought Tesla though.
Oh, we're going for this external range liquidity. Thank you. $101. Please. AVGO.
The daily.
Uh-huh.
That OTE, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the 786 weekly. Just weekly, yeah, kind of holding above that 50, so the body is above the 50. Ain't too bad.
That blunt weekly before too on the top.
Yeah. If anything, it can come up, take it, do this little number, this, and then that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that M doesn't look complete.
Mm-hmm. So that's on our stonks. If this, let's see, this consolidating Asia, probably the smallest Asian range we've ever fucking seen, 291 points in the past 2 weeks. This Asian session was fucking 1,200 fucking ticks, insane. All right, okay. 72 people watching, guys. Thank you for tuning in. It's just on Twitter. 73. Who else is watching? Where are you? On Twitch. What's up, Twitch? If you guys got any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the chat. Comment them. Tag us. Whatever you might have, let us know. We will try to answer it to the best of our ability. Let me peep. Okay. Let's go macro time testing, right? Or let me actually, let's crypto. Dogecoin doesn't look too bad this weekly. If it displaces above this weekly, it could go. That's what we are looking for on the daily. Yep.
Yeah, it's Operation Save the weekly. If we can get back above that 786,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Let's forget. But also OTE.
Yep.
This is my only concern there.
I know. Yeah, if you flip to the weekly with the OTE, the only hope I see is just like getting a close back above there.
Yeah.
Bitcoin 4 hours, that pivotal spot too at this 83.5. We keep rejecting from it.
Yep. The good old levels, right? Displace above, we continue. Don't displace, we go down. Or same thing, right? Hold, don't displace, we go up. And vice versa. You guys know the drill. Let me see. Okay. So, let's dive into our little education section. So, like we said, today we're going to cover little time frames, right? 1 minute to daily, Fibonacci. There's kind of no indicators. We've already you can see, right? Even from today. Today was all fibs. You could have just played fibs today, right? You had your candle right there. You do a little standard deviation on that girl. 1618, almost 2125 rejection on that. I was also looking at the range before we opened, which we kind of love doing that. 1618 over here. Initial comes up, retest the 0.5, sell down to 1618, check back up. For those, for OTEs, these are the levels that you want to have. You want to have your OTE, so that starts 0 to 1, right? Between those, you have your 0.5, 618, 786, and a 705, right? That's like the perfect OTE. 705 is the BTE, the Benji trade entry. Follow ES Benji. Guys, do follow him on Twitter. We need that fucking skincare routine. What's he at right now? What's ES Benji at? So 291, guys, come on, get him up. We need 9 followers.
I think he's going down.
Yeah, he is. Okay,
It's cool. He's in the big boy leagues now.
Open Twitter and I see a JD Vance fucking video. Son of a
I
gun.
can't even.
Can't escape. It's like a Peter Griffin, dude. Fucking A. Right. So then from there, you want to see a -1. -1 is basically going to be your deviation if you take it as like a block, right? So say we take this right here and we copy that and we paste that below. That's your -1 right here, right? And then you copy it over again. That's your -2 over here. And then if you keep going, those are going to be your -3s, -4s, 5s. Typically for those, all right, if we go back into here, take a screenshot of this, have those levels on your chart, right? You want to have -1, -2, -2.125 is a little bit better. -2.5, -2, -2.5, we typically see a reversal from those, right? Or a retracement at least into the 50% of the range. That happens a lot of times, right? So we create a range, -1 to -2.5, you can take it, retraces into 50% because guess what that is, right? What do we talk about? Premium discount. That is our discount for either longs or shorts. Retrace into 50% of it, find something there. If it holds, we continue with the trend, right? -3, -3.5, -4.3, -2.36. That's going to be a solid level just for those tops, right? It's really good to see liquidities line up with those levels just because it gives you more of a confirmation of like, okay, this is actually, starting to hold. So today what we could have done too, take this little range, right? Low to high, we retrace almost into 50% of it. Guess we reached 2618, -3, right? 2AT. What do we have lined up over here with -3, -3.5 between here? We had a little liquidity. We had a little liquidity right here with almost 2618, right? So you're looking at those -2.5, also another liquidity. So you're like, okay, this is very likely to go to the side that I wanted to go to because of what those liquidities are. Some indicators that I like to use, I outline my sessions with the sessions indicator. That one just outlines when I want to trade and when I don't want to trade. So anything in these grays, that's tradable. Anything between here, I don't typically take any trades. I try to be done in the morning, right? If I don't see anything in the morning, then I'm off to work. Hopefully, God-given soon, we'll be trading all day. Not all day, but we'll be able to access this session a little bit more. This is another session. This just outlines the silver bullet. So that's that 10 a.m. candle, right? If we are looking for an outside hour, you can typically find it on the 1 minute, all right? We can come up over here on the 1 minute. We have already taken outside here, right? Yeah, so we've already done the outside hour, but you can find a solid setup. So if a 1 minute starts to displace, kind of go off of either like an order block or a retest and then continue down to that outside hour. This one retraced into the OTE right here. So that was good. Continued on down. All right. Another solid indicator, I suggest you outline your sessions. Like I like to use Asian session, London session. You can outline them with just a line. I used to do that, but then got a little tired of it, of like always having just too many lines on there. This way I just know, okay, this is my full Asian session. I know exactly what it did. I know what the box looks like. If it's a consolidation box, if it's an expansion box, I can kind of gauge what the price does. And we'll cover those a little bit later on in this month in terms of how sessions interact with each other. All right, that's a good indicator. Timmy time indicator. You always want to have that. That one is member exclusive. So for trading ICT, you won't really have access to it unless you're in here. But all of these other indicators are public. You can find them. And we can send links to them in our Discord too. This one, the sessions outline one as well. Future session open. That one gives me all the opens of each time. So you can kind of also see like if we are going above or below the midnight open, also see your Asian session opens and your 8:30 open. You can see how well price interacts with those levels. So you can see we displaced it. It acted as support for a second, then we displaced below it. Over here acted as resistance, right? So back down. Another solid one is just having, like if you don't want to have like right now, right? I have my setup in terms of the 15-minute, my weather bell chart, my 5-minute/1 minute. I'll switch between them, 5 and 1. You can kind of use this as your entry or use the 15 as an entry, This one I mostly use for liquidities, right? My targets up here, over here, right? All of those targets were outlined on the 15-minute. And then obviously my hourly, right? You want to have your higher time frame confirmations, higher time frame, everything. And then because I don't want to have a bunch of 4 little small screens and constantly expanding between them, I have a 4-hour candle that just gives me a good read on the market of like what we want to do, right? So this is a power of 3 that's going to give you this. And then I also have a previous day OTE that outlines my previous day high, previous day low, right? That's how we play those outside days. Take the high, don't displace above it. We're likely going to go into the internal liquidities and then from there see if we hold anything and then come back up for those externals or come back down for those externals, which is likely, which gives you that outside day, right? So always watching in terms of are we displacing, or are we not displacing, or holding above, below, highs or lows, things like that. It also gives you an OTE of that day, which is pretty solid, right? You always want to have that. Which this one is, I don't know why it's acting up today, but our OTE is going to be a little bit higher. Our 618 is a little bit right there. See how we're rejecting that. OTE is very important. Optimal trade entry outlines the levels if you don't see something. Also combining it with a fair value gap. That's solid on those reversals, right? We've covered this on stream previously. If we have the 2022 model, that's where price sweeps, displaces above, creates a fair value gap. Then we come down into that fair value gap and then go out of it. OTE is phenomenal combination with that model because you are able to see how low it can go into that fair value gap or just kind of determine those touch points for price to bounce out of. It's an algorithm at the end of the day, right? So our PO3, that gives me the 4-hour candle. So 4 hourly candles are going to give me 1 4-hour candle over here on the right. So that way I can gauge it. I do flip between 4-hour and hour sometimes too, just so I can see a bigger picture. But there is another indicator for this too that kind of shows you multiple 4-hour candles. I think, where do we have it? I know we had it on this one somewhere.
Yep, you do that ICT HTF candles.
Oh yeah. Yep. I just forget which time frame it acts on. Yeah, like 30-minute, right? 30-minute. I can set it to show on the hour, but my 30-minute shows me the hourly candles, right? Or I can go on the hour and have it show me the 4-hour candles as well. TF, so this is hourly. Let's do like a 4-hour, right? So this way shows me 4-hour candles, 3 4-hour candles, and I can really see how price interacts, right? So we have this huge 4-hour wick. We can slap a 50% on it. Just barely. So see, okay, are we going to reject the 50% of this wick, or are we going to continue through it? Actually, let me outline that. It's a good little find.
Yeah, that's a super helpful tip.
Yeah, so if we displace above this over here, that level, we could most likely see a very good continuation up into that previous day high. So 4425, right? That's the wick right there. It's your 4-hour wick. That's also like a middle of that hourly, I think, somewhere over here. Yeah. Sure, on the 15-minute, we have a very solid liquidity there too. So Thursday, I'll put that there. I'll delete that so we don't have too much. But yeah, outline your levels, guys. Super important. Write them down, whatever, if you don't want to have too many lines on your charts. It's going to be very helpful. So those are kind of the indicators that we use. I know Shane used some other ones. Timmy used some other ones. Timmy likes to use MAs, SMAs. Those are very good. They can help you with trend indicator, right? If you're struggling to determine trend, it's helpful to have that indicator, but don't rely on it too much, right? You always just want to make sure, okay, I took a look at it. I can turn my indicators off. So that will lead us into how are we toggling everything right on here? How are we moving so fast with our through Trading View. Control Alt H, that will disable and enable all of your indicators so that you're not doing too much with the mouse. You can just literally, you can click this button that toggles your indicators off, or you can do Control H, Control Alt H. That will be way faster, or at least for me. Some people like it with the mouse, some people don't. I like to use that. If you're drawing a line, let me do over here. If you're drawing a line and you have the magnet tool on, right, it sticks to price, and then you kind of want to put it, you're trying to put it in line up with the trend, but it keeps on sticking. If you press Control, that temporarily disables that as long as you're holding Control, and you can move that line freely, right? So as long as I let go of Control, now it's sticking to price, I press Control, I can move the line freely and line it up whichever way I want it to line up. Then what else do we have? Control Shift S takes a screenshot, copies it to your clipboard, so then you can Control V it anywhere you want to. Put it in your journal, put it in your Discord, whatever, right? Shane talked about making a little Discord for yourself for journaling. We're working on implementing pictures for Trader Log. That's coming very soon. That's on papertraders.io, or it's also linked in my Twitter page. You can check that out. Phenomenal tool. If you guys are not journaling, you're not learning, right? Data-driven decisions. That's what we want to be making right now. Or as we're learning, right? Progressing slowly through everything. We want to make sure we're making data-driven decisions. What other useful ones do I have for this? To make it a little faster, right? The OTE, if you draw it out on a certain candle, right, and it's just stuck, right, it's just a single line and you can't really see how much it expands, click into it. Instead of clicking this every time, use your up and down arrows. That will expand it, that will contract it, send it the other way, whichever way you want it to. And then if you're looking to move it as well, and then you don't want to make sure it stays lined up right, you're moving, your hand is shaking, you're like, fuck, I lost it. It's like, when you measure something with your hands and then you go to move it and then it's like, yeah, my hands came together, right? Man, you can use the left and right arrow keys to move it on your chart, right? And it stays in the perfect position. You can also use up and down keys too. Sorry.
Oh yeah. So instead of double clicking and going into that menu, hit your right arrow a couple times.
Hit my right arrow.
You scoot it over to the right.
Mm-hmm.
And now drag the bottom back to the bottom wick.
Oh, that's smart. I like that. All right. Learn something new every day. It's actually helpful because I always click into it and go into here. That saves a lot of time.
I used to
That's
do
good.
the same.
I like it. Okay, what else do we have? That are tools that are good. We covered Control H, covered this, covered the line. If you are looking to just put a price level, right, and you don't want to find a tool for a vertical line, you can do Alt H, puts a vertical or a horizontal line. Alt V puts a vertical line wherever your mouse is, wherever your little whatever cross mark is, right? So if I want a price to be over here, I can put Alt H. I can move this up and down with my arrow keys as well, or you can click into it and then set whatever price you want it to be. That's that one. It's a little tool. This isn't not necessarily for, I guess I'll go back to over here, right? Over here, instead of clicking into each one, you can do Alt press your left button, and that expands the view if you have multiple, right? You can also, if you're just strictly keyboarding it, you can tab over into each one and kind of change your time frames, right? So on this one, I'm going to go to the 1 minute, 5 minute, tab over. See, my mouse is not moving. I tabbed over to the other one, 4 hour, 60 minute, tab over. Now it's at the top one, 15 minute, 5 minute. You see that chart changing, but my mouse is staying in the same place. So tabbing over into those, that you can do Alt Enter, that expands it, right? My mouse is staying in the same place. Mouse is not moving. Alt Enter expands your chart, whichever one you have selected. That's a solid one too. I'm just so used to like alt clicking it now that it's a little bit faster for me, but sometimes I still use the little tab just to set my time frame properly. Over here, if you have a long list of tickers, you can use up and down arrows to scroll through them. So right now we're at cat, I'm pressing down arrow. That scrolls through my indicators. So that's how we used to scan all the crypto all the crypto charts this fast. We're just like, look, nope, 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 nope. Cool, move on. You know, it's kind of you getting so used to just scanning super fast through everything. That is.
I have one more indicator. If you just type in FX4, do the FX4 model. Yeah, that one. That's like one of my favorite indicators.
Oh, yes.
It just shows the previous day high, previous day low, and the equilibrium. It's kind of just like the OTE one that you showed before.
Yep. And then if
Super
you guys,
clean, super useful.
yep, if you guys see this, like how all of these, like you got all of these fucking data points and it's taking up space on your chart, press into here, and then, where is it? It's in settings, right?
Yep, settings.
Yeah.
And then, or no, go to like your chart settings.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. So, chart settings.
Symbol or status line.
Oh, yes. Status line.
Yep, the arguments and values on indicators.
Oh my god. So there we go. Arguments, right? It hides all of those. So now you have a much cleaner looking chart. So you can press apply to all. That's going to apply to all of your layouts, and then hide that. And then Control H if you want to get rid of it. Just look at the naked price. Kind of help you out. All right.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Alt H hides all of the indicators. Or Control Alt H. Alt H puts in a horizontal line. So you want to be using that. If you're just like, right, you kind of see a little fair value gap, you have an indicator for it. Okay, cool. Turn it off. Okay, now I see it with naked price. Okay, kind of training yourself not to use an indicator, right? Super solid. What else I want to cover today? Yeah, that's like pretty much, we covered the setup of NQ, covered Fibonacci's, like no indicators, minimalism and tools, focusing on price, right? So indicators can be helpful, but focus mostly on price. What does the price want to do? How are we interacting with those previous highs, previous lows? How are we interacting with those liquidities, right? Something that we covered on yesterday's stream. If you haven't checked that out, youtube.com /at the or at paper traders or at the paper traders. I think it's at paper.traders. That will send you to our YouTube. You can also check it out in my description or in my whatever on my wall. You can also follow at the paper traders. We have that pinned as well, I believe. If you guys missed the live stream, just press under live. You'll see every single live stream that we did. The shorter ones are probably going to be the morning ones, right? Those 10-minute ones. I don't tend to go above, 30 minutes on those. Just cover everything up. And then we do a quick little pre-market analysis, cover all the levels. That's what we outline over here, right? Those red lines, green lines, right? That's from our market reviews in the morning or pre-market overview. So we cover all of those levels. Everybody's able to watch that. We're giving out free levels of where we will see reactions. And you can see that our track record is showing that the levels that we outline are pretty fucking solid. Go rewatch all the live streams and see how the price and see what the price did that following day. Same thing on Sundays. You don't want to miss those live streams. You want to make sure you're tuning in, watching, picking up that knowledge. We're going over stocks. We're going over crypto. We're going over all the levels and the moves that we will see on the weekly, daily, whatever, right? We mostly do our higher time frame analysis, which with that, right, you always want to kind of start your analysis on the daily. I don't necessarily like the idea of having a quote unquote daily bias, just because if you're biased, you're probably going to get very emotional if your bias doesn't work, right? So kind of go into every day just looking for your setup. That's what you want to focus on. Focus on your setup. If your setup shows and it's to the upside, then you're determining, okay, you're more biased towards your setup than like what price will actually do, right? If your setup shows to the downside, cool, then you're leaning towards the downside. If it shows to the upside, okay, I'll take it to the upside to whatever levels I've outlined, right? But we always want to do a top-down analysis just to mostly determine like a larger trend, right? That's why we're always on our live streams. We're looking from the 4 hour down. We outlined those important levels, right? So like today we had this fair value gap. We had those previous week lows, previous week highs, everything outlined on those higher time frames. Then we dropped down to an hour. We had our OTE drawn out over here, right? We had these levels drawn out. That was on our 15-minute, right? You see, we covered this last night. Our 15-minute liquidities, how important they are. You can see how well we took this. Didn't necessarily have a displacement above it. Sold back down. Then we came up later on, took this liquidity on the 15-minute, right? And then we also dropped down to the 5. We outline our Timmy candle over here. Cool. We had a Timmy candle over here as well that we bounced on yesterday as well. We had all of that outlined this morning on stream. So everything played out perfectly. Love that. And with that, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, for watching today. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you check out at Hazed Beats. Make sure you check out Big Timmy Hedge on Twitter. Tune in. Let us know what you guys think. We appreciate your support. As always, go to papertraders.io. Check out all the tools that we have. ICT Trainer, help you track your progress of how far you're making through those ICT videos. Makes it a little bit more interactive, make it more fun, instead of you having to click into a YouTube playlist every time, right? You're also able to take notes on there. You're able to draw things out. So you're able to save those drawings and kind of use them later for your personal journals. Trader Log, phenomenal tool, tracks all of your trades. You're able to enter either the ones that you're currently in or just do a historic one, right? And also Candle Creator, that helps you just kind of visualize. We have used it previously for teachings, and then just the link, and all of the links are on there as well. We have a free Telegram. Make sure you guys check that out. Sometimes we post free little trades on there. Obviously not financial advice, but we post them on there just kind of like, hey, this is what we see. Might or might not play out. Take it at your own risk kind of thing. All right, and that is all I have for today. Tomorrow morning, I won't be doing a live stream. I got obligations. Papa's got to go into work, help the kids out. But we'll do a good stream in the night, right? Maybe I'll take a long bathroom break, outline some levels tomorrow morning, and post those for you guys. But other than that, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, give it a little repost, tag us, let us know what you guys think. I'm going to check the chat. Nothing in the chat. But if you guys at any point have any questions, tag us, let us know. We do have 2 more lifetime subscriptions open. So go check out at the Paper Traders to see how you can acquire one of those. Monthly subscriptions are probably going to cost you what you're paying for Netflix. We also have a weekly subscription too. That's a fucking Starbucks coffee in a single day, right? If you're fucking ordering a Frappuccino with a bunch of shit in it, that's going to cost you $10. We have a ledger too, actually. Our weekly newsletter, our daily ledger that we post on. Those levels get emailed to you, right? All of the levels that I outlined in the morning, if you missed them, you can subscribe to that. That's $5. It's like an Americano at Starbucks, right? something that you get every morning. You can be getting knowledge every morning for $5 in the morning instead of some mid coffee, right? So make sure you go subscribe to that. We had some levels outlined this morning. We said previous daily low holds, or this this Monday morning low. If that holds, then we are looking for it to continue up, and that's exactly what price did, right? That's why we had this arrow only going to here. That was our trade. But yeah, sorry, keep going to it, but yeah, that's it. We're gonna cut it here unless Shane or Timmy got something to say. But we appreciate you guys, and as always, thank you for tuning in.
Thanks, Eddie. You're the best.
Thank you. Alrighty, adios. Have a beautiful night, y'all.